Hey everybody, it's Maximus Reid here with the 509 magazine, and I'm lucky enough to be here with Steven from Prevail. Let's take a listen to our time together. How's things?
Good, good. How are you?
Wonderful, man. Really, really good. I'm glad to get the chance to talk to you.
Yeah, stoked, stoked. It's always good to be talking about a new record and just be in a band again. Feels good to be rehearsing and playing shows and all that stuff. So
Yeah, so I heard a lot about when the world stopped, pretty much. You guys were in Germany, you
hmm
jumped back home, and I think we all kind of like freaked out for a while about what was going to go on. But I think a bunch of us all sat back and said, "Hey, man, all these bands, I think are going to go in their caves and they're going to just put on their super suits and they're just going to write incredible music over these last couple of years." And I really think after listening to True Power, that's exactly what you guys fucking did. Like it's absolutely, it hits hard. It's got a lot of different things going on with it. It's got your sounds all over. I think you guys really, after Trauma came out, you guys really just got the keys to the car and just went nuts. And I really love hearing it.
yeah, thank you, man. That's awesome. Yeah, hey, the silver lining to the pandemic was that I'm sure a lot of, like you said, a lot of artists took this approach. Like it was just kind of uninterrupted access to writing and creativity and working on the craft and in terms of the studio work. So like the touring business is always going to be chirping at you one way or another. It's like offers are coming up here, opportunity here. So it's like, and it's hard to always block it out completely. So you're kind of always having to do this balance thing. But that was the silver lining of the pandemic and everything, was just being able to completely isolate and focus on, what the right sound was for us to explore and stuff like that. So, and thank you for the words about the record, man. It definitely, feels like to me our best work to date, and I think some of the ways we were able to explore kind of the range of what I Prevail has started to do. It was
Yeah.
really interesting and really rewarding, and some of the work I'm most proud of. So thank you for saying
Oh
that.
man, I'm telling you, I got chills listening to it. I think you're absolutely incredible. Everything you're doing. My favorite tune before I really got into everything, like there's just too many tunes on this thing that I love. Your first track off the thing, Body Bag, like blew me away. Before I knew that was going to be your first single or what was going on with it, that song just hit me really hard, and I felt it. I Where's that come from? Where in the process of you guys making that song? Is it just the three of you guys come in? All of you? Does one of you guys come in with that song? How does that start?
Yeah, yeah. So that song started, we're writing with yeah, three guys in the band, myself, Brian, and Eric. And
Yeah.
we work with our producer Tyler, who collaborated with us a bunch. So
On
we
Trauma as well, right?
on Trauma as well. Yeah, a super talented guy, like huge presence behind the sound we've been able to create and stuff like that together. So went into his studio, just doing kind of like just a writing session that day, and I remember that song started with a riff. We're just like, I was just noodling on the guitar going like, okay, how can we do something that, it's so weird, you're just kind of like, riffing is like you're just drawn to these little motifs and you don't know why you're drawn to them, and you don't know the, if somebody knew it, they'd be a billionaire if they knew what made people connect to a riff or whatever. But just started playing something that kind of my ears perked up, and I saw the guys in the room kind of went like, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm like, "Okay, then we got something." And we just started kind of building around that kind of fast, slidey riff, that that kicks off the song, and we found ways to like take it up and down octaves and just make it kind of like a core motif for the intro of the song, and kind of went from there and just try to make more. We wanted every decision on the record to be just very bold, very we want to give you what you want, but not in the way you think you want it, basically. So every kind of transition or change, they work, but it's like a curveball. Like we found the chorus of this song to be a Body Bag, to be a big curveball. It was a kind of chorus we hadn't done before.
Yep.
Kind of has this like punk feel to it,
Yes.
different kind
I
of singing for Brian, and
was gonna say that, and I didn't. Sometimes bands you don't know how you want to say it, but I felt this punk thing through this whole thing, and I was like, wow. It go back to what I was saying earlier. I feel like you were given the keys to just do what you wanted. You had the time, and you were just I think Trauma really set the stage for you guys on giving you the opportunity to just kind of do your thing. And man, does it ever show. Like even in Bad Things, the new single that just came out, you guys are
Mhm.
getting streams like crazy. The YouTube hits are nuts. Like and again, it's nothing like Body Bag. You guys are going wherever you want. How
Yeah.
does that feel? And like it's gotta be incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just inspiring to hear that that's connecting in terms of just you as a listener. Like some of that stuff is coming through, and you're kind of sensing the creativity and the boldness in it. I think, yeah, like to your point, when we were doing Trauma, I remember being like, we knew exactly what we wanted to be doing there, but there definitely was more of an internal uncertainty about how some of those decisions were going to go over. We're basically like, we're making the stuff we want to make, but we had come from more of like a more kind of structured in the box kind of sound from where we came from,
Mm-hmm.
and Trauma was like our kind of breaking out of that. But we didn't know how if the fans were going to come along, or if it wouldn't connect or whatever, if it would just be too out there in certain ways. We were doing like more rapping than we'd ever done, just kind of taking on more components to our sound.
It was a darker album as well. I think you guys are coming from a different place emotionally, and that's
For
what I
sure.
felt on that
Oh,
Trauma.
no doubt about it. But so there was a lot more uncertainty underneath the surface. It's just how it would go over. But that kind of connecting so well felt like you kind of to your point, that it just gave us full reign to be like, okay, you guys like that. You like when just I do think that fans connect to like um just they sense when it's real, they sense when it's authentic, they sense
Yep.
when it's like a band that's going like, we're gonna go for this, we're gonna actually, they can sense the thought that's put into it, the care. I think all those little things that we spend so much time doing, and why our records take so long to make, I think it does show through at the end of the day. And it's like hard because we'll be in the room, it's like, man, are people really going to notice this one detail that we're putting so much work into? But I think when you stack like
It all
100, 200, 300 of those decisions, the record kind of reflects that. So
I'll tell you, I felt a lot of angst and like fuck you. A lot of just, I don't know how to like just we're gonna do what we want. Like not only through the lyrics, but the sound that you guys were slashing out like constantly, and it was big. It sounded like it started off as a little tiny little dot and it turned into this giant galaxy. Like every freaking song has this great build and volume to it. And looking at the track list, I was going over it all, and like most songs are about 3 minute range,
mhm.
but like it doesn't sound like 3 minutes. It
Mm.
really doesn't. It took
Yeah,
me on like
yeah.
this journey each tune, and I was just like, man, this is freaking brilliant. This is really, really cool. So for me, a pleasure to be able to listen to this whole new album. I can't wait for everybody else to hear it. To that point as well, I wanted to ask you on this new album, what is the one song that you guys are like getting ready to rip out on stage that people have not heard live yet? Like that's got to be something you're just aching
Yeah,
to do.
yeah, we're deep in rehearsal right now. We're ready to pull out a lot of these tracks actually, for the fall tour. So people are going to get a very heavy dose of it, and it's cool because like a lot of these songs are just a lot more guitar forward than
Yeah,
Trauma. Trauma, we brought a big electronic influence, and the
definitely.
big parts were definitely personality, but we felt like we were just drawn to making the guitars on this record a bigger piece of the puzzle and have more characters. So it's feeling really fun to bring that out in a live aspect, just that rock and roll kind of feel. And I'd say the one I'm most excited for. Let's see. I mean, we're doing some really, cool stuff with like double drop tones. Like it's like crazy low stuff using all these like pitching algorithms and stuff, creating these really modern, cool, like kind of throwback to almost like old like new metal type tones, like old Limp Bizkit type stuff, but
Yep.
doing it in our way. So there's a song called Self Destruction that is, I believe, third on the track list or fourth with the intro
Fourth.
track. But
Yep.
feeling really cool energy. Really, it's got this cool mix between like new metal and hip hop kind of vibes that I think is going to be a real banger live.
Beauty, man. I can't wait to hear it live. So I have a couple of things here.
Yeah.
One thing is, I know you guys are from Detroit. I'm right across the ditch in Windsor. What's your favorite place to eat in Detroit when you're home?
Oh man. Um, There are a couple killer steakhouses in Detroit. One's called Prime and Proper.
Yes.
If you're looking for a fancy evening, if you want to kind of
Yep.
like get dressed up and sip some fine wine and
And what's your dirty grubby eats?
what's that?
And what's your dirty grubby eats? It's a place you like to just.
Man, Detroit Wing Co. Probably. I don't know if you've had that place before, but the wings there are amazing. Um, Trying to think. There's a place called Ale Mary's in Royal Oak that's just really good bar food.
Excellent.
So yeah, those are a few.
So I hear you kind of on the you're are you the healthy guy? Or you're the healthy guy on tour, right? You're one
I am the
off.
healthy guy. Yeah, I'm the clean living guy for the most part. But the thing about that is, so when and my our drummer Gabe is the same way. So we kind of have like our little factions within the band. Like
For
Phil
sure.
and Eric are definitely like the foodies for sure. So they could probably go more down that rabbit hole. But the thing about Gabe and I is when we do get off the rails, it's way off the rails. We'll
Yeah.
eat like
Gluttonous.
2 pints of ice cream. Yeah, we'll eat a whole pizza to ourselves. Like it's a thing.
So when you're on tour, like I said, if you go back to Europe, hopefully you're back there sooner than later.
Hmm.
Uh, what's the one go-to food that you can eat all the time for you guys?
Like in Europe.
Yeah, or any like just that you have to have with you that you can keep
Yeah, I mean Chipotle is always a safe bet. Like that, which is great in the States, obviously, but Europe, it's not really that
there.
I can tell there. So Europe's way more of a just crapshoot in terms of like trying to survive. And we found a few. There's one place in Germany called oh man, what is it called? It's like something in David's, Dean and David's, like good, like just higher quality health kind of chain or whatever. So we know there we can get that. But for the most part, like you're in so many different countries night to night, there's just no consistency. So it kind of gets off the rails pretty quickly. Yeah.
At least you can come home to fix that when you get back. Now,
Yeah, close enough.
how long did it take you guys to get this True Power album to start to finish? It sounded like maybe mid 2020 you started it.
Hmm. Yeah, mid 2020. So we kind of like because we work creatively a lot with Tyler Smith, our producer. It's kind of like it's not like it's just writing and then production. It's kind of all blended into one process, and like he actually mixes the records too. So
Beauty.
um, it's kind of this like blurred lines between writing, recording, tracking, and mixing. So it took us all, with all that considered, just about 2 years, all in, just about 2 years, which not the longest the band's ever taken, but for us, we felt like Trauma kind of bought us that time, bought us, like we kind of earned that time to
Do it
go in
right.
there and get it right. But yeah, I don't know. I question if you can really do it right in much shorter of a time, if unless you're like a one, some bands have like the band self-produces, and like if you can do that thing, you can definitely do it shorter. But if you're kind of doing it the more traditional route, it's just hard to do it much quicker. And I think for us, like we found that the time to reflect on everything is also just as important as the actual time you're grinding away, in the studio or behind the instruments. It's like just sometimes you'll be stoked on something for a week and then you'll just kind of find it like it kind of fades with you or something. So
Yep.
that reflection period, having that is like almost part of the magic for us.
Now, in that reflection, there must be tracks that get cut, things that just don't make it on albums. Do you guys sit on those? What do you do with those things? Because there's got to be some magic in there that later on you guys will tweak with, work on again, or again,
Yeah.
maybe reflect 5 years down the road and go, shit, this was a good track. We just need to, you're in a different headspace and that works for you. Has that
Yeah.
happened
So
yet? Or
yeah, yeah. Well, actually on True Power, one song was something that got cut from Trauma. Was a chorus that got cut from Trauma. So and the same thing will probably happen this time, where it's like we always okay, so when you're in the beginning of the process, it's like it's always really fun to write new songs, right? It's always like
sure.
you just get that, man, there's like coming in to write a new song that day is like some of the most fun energy. It just feels like the whole universe is at your fingertips basically, and you can do anything. So when you're early on, it's always fun to be like, all right, let's write something new, let's write something new. But all the stuff you're writing, kind of like you're getting to the point where it gets hard, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna set that aside. We got something cool. We'll come back and finish it later. And then you find you have like basically this whole pile of things that just have finishing left to do, which is like the hard work, if you will.
Yep.
You're kind of boxed in on your decision making, and now you have to make stuff work with what you already have. So what we typically for us is we get a whole too many new ideas, and then we realize, okay, realistically, we can't finish all these.
Yep.
So you kind of, but there still is something that we were drawn to in there. So there's a good. It doesn't mean it's not even potentially good enough to make it. It just means that you kind of have to make decisions. So um, we had one song on True Power that up until the very last second we were it was going to make the album, but just for like just deadlines and stuff, it just wasn't going to happen. And we realized like, certain things are going to have to suffer for us to actually
Yep.
get this on the album. So we're going to save that one. What we're going to do with it, I don't know. It's definitely it's got something to me to be an Prevail song, but yeah, probably something similar to where a song called Closure on True Power was actually a chorus that we had written
For trauma.
trauma in the trauma cycle, and completely different now, other than the chorus melody and lyrics. Completely revamped the song, and it's like got so much of a better life to me now because we were able to do it right on that song, put the time
Yeah,
into it.
man. Very cool. Now I have a huge question because it is one of my favorite songs on the True Power album.
Yeah.
This FWYTYK.
Mm.
What is that? What's it mean? 'Cause I love the tune. I
Yeah,
just don't know how
give
to
me a
say it
guess.
on.
Yeah, if you had to take a guess, what would it be?
Fuck why you think you know.
That's very close. It's fuck what you think you know. Fuck what you think you know.
All right, cool, man. All right. I just want to make sure I had that right. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
Weirdly on that, like we posted the track list to the record last week or something like that, and people were actually nailing it in the comments for the most part. It definitely was the one that got the most kind of just discussion about it, because I think it's kind
sure.
of mysterious or something, or just a little bit unknown. But people were actually getting it in the comments, so I'm glad that when you do those kind of titles, that's what you want. You want people to see it, and it kind of to like almost come off the tip of your tongue when you
Well,
see the acronym.
I'm excited for them to hear it. I think that's going
Yeah.
to be a good track that they're really going to enjoy as well. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate getting the opportunity to speak with you. I can't wait to see the tour coming up as well. I know you're going out with Pierce the Veil. I know you're going to be doing a double show in Detroit, which I'm going to make sure I'm at. And you're going to be doing some shows in Canada as well. So I know your Canadian fans love you like crazy. It's definitely a sound that I know all across Canada enjoys. So I can't wait to see you hit tour out there. And I appreciate your time.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, come out to one of the shows, either Detroit or Toronto, probably, and
Yeah.
we'll see you there.
Excellent, man. All right. Thanks, Suzanne. Have a good one. Well, I had a great time talking with Stephen from Prevail. Go check out the new album, True Power. Comes out August 19th, 2022 of Fearless Records. That's it from the 519 magazine. Have a good one.